More than 2,500 years old, Bukhara is one of the great historic cities of the Silk Road. Long before the arrival of Islam, its inhabitants practiced, among other beliefs, Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest religions. Over the centuries, merchants, scholars, and rulers helped shape the exceptional heritage that still defines the city today. The Samanid Mausoleum is one of the oldest and most remarkable monuments in Bukhara. Built in the late 9th or early 10th century, it contains the tomb of Ismail Samani, ruler of the Samanid dynasty and one of the most influential figures in the history of Central Asia. Constructed entirely of baked brick, the mausoleum is renowned for the extraordinary richness of its geometric patterns. The carefully arranged brickwork creates subtle effects of light and shadow across the facades, without the use of glazed tiles or sculptural decoration. Its architecture reflects the meeting of several cultural traditions. Although built for a Muslim dynasty, the monument preserves influences inherited from the pre-Islamic civilizations of Central Asia. Some historians see echoes of forms associated with Zoroastrian architecture, while its dome and overall design foreshadow the great mausoleums that would later spread throughout the Islamic world. Preserved for more than 1,000 years, the Samanid Mausoleum is today regarded as a masterpiece of medieval Central Asian architecture and one of the most iconic landmarks of Bukhara. Chashma Ayub means Job's spring. According to local tradition, the prophet Job, known in Jewish, Christian, and Muslim traditions, caused a spring to emerge here during a time of drought. The present sanctuary was built in the 12th century under the Karakhanids and was expanded and restored several times over the centuries. Its elegant conical dome, unusual in Central Asia, makes it one of Bukhara's most recognizable landmarks. Inside are the well associated with this legend and several revered tombs. More than a simple mausoleum, Chashma Ayub remains a place of pilgrimage where history, faith, and local traditions come together. The Bahauddin Naqshband complex is one of the most important pilgrimage sites in Uzbekistan. It is dedicated to Bahauddin Naqshband, a 14th century Sufi master and founder of the Naqshbandi order, whose influence spread far beyond Central Asia. After his death in 1389, his tomb became a place of prayer and pilgrimage. Over the centuries, mosques, courtyards, and religious buildings were added around the sanctuary to accommodate the growing number of visitors. Even today, pilgrims from across the Muslim world come to this site to honor the memory of the Sufi master and to visit one of the most important spiritual centers of Bukhara. The columns of the Bolo Haouz Mosque are reflected in the waters of the pool that gave the monument its name. This harmonious setting is one of the most recognizable views in Bukhara. Built in 1712 opposite the Ark, the former citadel of the emirs, the mosque served as a place of worship for the rulers of the emirate. Its large portico is supported by tall carved wooden columns, while painted ceilings and colorful mosaics showcase the craftsmanship of local artisans. The interior of the mosque is distinguished by its peaceful atmosphere and refined decoration. The walls and ceilings are adorned with geometric and floral motifs created in the artistic traditions of Central Asia. Natural light highlights the details of the ornamentation and enhances the intimate character of the prayer hall. More modest than the region's great monumental mosques, Bolo Haouz is admired for its harmonious proportions and the delicacy of its craftsmanship. The Poi Kalyan complex brings together three major monuments of Bukhara's historic center: the Kalyan Minaret, the Kalyan Mosque, and the Mir-e-Arab Madrasa. Built during different periods, they form an architectural ensemble that still dominates the skyline of the old city. The Mir-e-Arab Madrasa was built in the 16th century during the reign of the Uzbek ruler Ubaydullah Khan. For nearly 5 centuries, it has played an important role in the religious life of Bukhara and remains one of the most recognizable buildings of the Poi Kalyan complex. Its monumental facade is framed by 2 blue-tiled domes. The geometric and calligraphic decorations covering the portal reflect the skill of Central Asian craftsmen during the period of the Uzbek Khanates. The 2 turquoise domes are among the most distinctive features of Bukhara's skyline. Their glazed tile covering reflects a decorative tradition that influenced Central Asian architecture for centuries. The Kalyan Mosque is the main place of worship within the Poi Kalyan complex, in the heart of Bukhara's historic center. Rebuilt in the 16th century under the Shaybanid dynasty, it ranks among the largest mosques in Central Asia. The main portal is decorated with muqarnas, tiered niches resembling stalactites that are among the most distinctive features of Islamic architecture. Their colors and geometric patterns illustrate the craftsmanship of the artisans who contributed to the embellishment of the city. Around the mosque's vast inner courtyard extend covered galleries and prayer areas designed to accommodate large numbers of worshippers. For centuries, the mosque played a central role in the spiritual life of Bukhara. Today, it remains one of the most important places of worship in the historic city. The Kalyan Minaret dominates the historic heart of Bukhara. At its base stands the vast Kalyan Mosque, while the Mir-i Arab Madrasa faces it across the square. Although these monuments now form a harmonious ensemble, they were not built during the same period. Visible from afar above the rooftops of Bukhara, the minaret once served as a landmark for travelers and caravans approaching the city. It also marked the religious center of Bukhara and accompanied the call to prayer. The minaret was erected in 1127 under the Karakhanid dynasty. It is therefore much older than the monuments that surround it today. The Mir-i Arab Madrasa dates from the 16th century, and the present mosque was rebuilt during the same period under the Shaybanids. Rising to a height of about 45 meters, the minaret impresses with the elegance of its proportions. Its decoration is entirely created through carefully arranged brickwork, forming a variety of geometric patterns without relying on the large ceramic surfaces that adorn the neighboring monuments. Over the centuries, Bukhara experienced invasions, destruction, and reconstruction. Yet the Kalyan minaret survived these upheavals and remains one of the few major monuments in the city to preserve most of its original structure. The Abdulaziz Khan Madrasa was built in the 17th century to accommodate students of Islamic theology. Behind this partially restored facade survive colourful mosaics and muqarnas that rank among the finest architectural decorations in Bukhara. The marks of time remain clearly visible, but they also reveal the age and authenticity of this historic monument. Built in the 17th century near the Layabai Hoz Pool, the Nadir Divan Begi Madrasa was originally designed as a caravanserai for merchants. It was later converted into a religious school and is renowned for its portal decorated with mosaics depicting mythical birds and other motifs that are unusual in Islamic art. Today, it remains one of Bukhara's most remarkable monuments. The Magok-i-Atari Mosque is one of Bukhara's oldest monuments. Built in the 12th and 13th centuries on a religious site dating from before the 8th century, when the region was still influenced by Zoroastrian traditions, it reflects the city's long religious history. Its lower level, now lying below the surrounding streets, bears witness to the many urban transformations Bukhara has undergone over the centuries. the Ark Citadel has dominated Bukhara for centuries. Protected by massive earth and brick walls, it served as the political center of the emirate and the seat of the emir's authority. Behind these fortifications extended a vast complex where the government and the official affairs of the city were conducted. Inside the Ark Citadel, the Juma Mosque served the religious needs of the Emir's court of Bukhara. Built in the late 17th century, it was used for prayers by the rulers and senior officials of the emirate. Today incorporated into the Citadel's museum complex, it preserves Quranic manuscripts, an old carved wooden minbar, and several objects connected with the Islamic heritage of the region. Its richly decorated ceilings, adorned with geometric patterns and vibrant colors, reflect the craftsmanship of Bukhara's artisans and the attention devoted to the decoration of court buildings. The Qurinish Khana was one of the most important ceremonial spaces within the Ark Citadel. It was here that the Emir of Bukhara received ambassadors, foreign dignitaries, and representatives of neighboring states during official ceremonies. Visitors were welcomed into this large courtyard before being admitted to the covered terrace where formal audiences took place. In this solemn setting, the ruler displayed his authority and maintained the diplomatic relations of the Emirate of Bukhara. Sitori Moki Kosa Palace served as the summer residence of the last emirs of Bukhara. Built in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it reflects a period when Russian and European architectural influences blended with the traditions of Central Asia. Its pavilions, gardens, and richly decorated halls illustrate the court's taste for refinement and prestige. Today, the palace remains one of the most remarkable witnesses to the final years of the Emirate of Bukhara.